I'm Oliver Trevina in studio for The Hollywood Reporter, joined by the brilliant Rachel Bloom.
Hi.
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 How are you?
Good.
You've just had a Red Bull, so we've got full energy.
Oh, I just had a Red Bull.
Yeah, we were talking about the smell of Red Bull.
Yeah.
How relevant that is right now.
In his adorable accent, he was like, "Hey, give me some of your Red Bull, breath, love. Oh, it smells a little fruity there. A little acidic."
I get mimicked a lot. That one's pretty good.
Oh, really?
That's pretty good.
I
yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I was in Oliver, so.
I was in Oliver too. I was a stand-in for Oliver though. I couldn't even get Oliver being
You
called
mean
Oliver.
a stand-in?
A stand-in. Well, I didn't get the lead. Didn't get the part.
Oh, like an understudy?
Understudy. Yeah.
Oh, got
Yeah,
it.
Yeah. Stand-in.
I thought you just
understudy.
said you were a stand-in for a theatrical production, literally just in dress rehearsals. And what a thankless job.
It might have been that actually.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. That's what it was. But you don't struggle with that. You are the star. You're the star.
Let
and
me ask
creator.
you, I assume you're from the UK,
I am.
obviously.
Well done. One in one.
So, like, to us, like, a Cockney accent is really like mysterious. But to you guys, is it like the equivalent of us doing like a thick Southern accent? When you do a Cockney, like a thick Cockney, I'm Oliver Twist.
Oh,
Is it the equivalent of us being like, gosh darn,
I guess so. That is an equivalent.
Yeah,
That is an
okay.
equivalent. Yeah. Yeah. But Cockney, I don't know how similar it is to like, because when we think Cockney, we think like a little bit naughty.
Yeah,
Like you're going to get yourself into some mischief, some trouble.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah,
Is
I think
with
that
Southern?
we think a little bit.
Okay.
No, I
so
can't
it is
do a
similar.
Southern accent. Let's talk about my acting skills as I forget
It's good.
how to
It's
sound
good.
like a Southerner at all.
Well, you know, you've got a lot to think about.
I have a lot to think
A lot
about.
to think about.
I
You got to think about season 4.
Nice
Crazy
segue.
Ex-Girlfriend. You
Thank
like
you so
that?
much.
I just did that.
Yeah.
Just did that. And we're going to continue.
Oh my God.
We'll continue with the segues
Blow
all the
my
way
mind.
through.
Great.
I'm going to blow you away.
Great.
But yes, now I'm going blank. Season 3 has ended. It was a big season because I feel like the comedy obviously was a big part of season 1 and 2, but in 3 you really went more intense.
Yeah, this was the season we've always looked forward to doing because this was, big spoiler alert, my character kind of spirals in a way that's been called for the past 2.5 seasons,
Right.
and then she attempts suicide.
Right.
And then is diagnosed, finally, with something called borderline personality disorder, and the rest of the season is grappling with that. So it definitely was my most challenging and rewarding acting season.
Yeah, it was huge. You were incredible.
Thank you so much.
It was nice to see that side of you as well, you know? I
Yeah.
think for people that hadn't seen that, it's like, oh, there she is. Look at that. Look at that. Got that in your locker. Pulling it out. But touching on those, like, those topics are massive. And
Yeah.
yet, I feel like the way it's put across in a comedic way is easier to swallow. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, look, when we did the suicide attempt scene, it was done incredibly seriously, and that was definitely one of the hardest scene I've ever
Right.
had to shoot on the show. But we're always coming at any topic from a place of truth,
Right.
and looking for the natural juxtapositions that happen in real life. So,
Right.
for instance, when my character's about to get diagnosed after a suicide attempt, she sings this very uplifting song called A Diagnosis, and you wouldn't normally associate getting a diagnosis with something
Right.
uplifting,
Right.
but that's something that happens in real life. You look forward to these very weird things that make you feel like a musical theater ingenue, but are these kind of fucked up wishes and dreams.
Right. Yeah, and that's it. And you obviously mentioned the suicide scene was very serious, but I feel like if this was a show touching base on all these topics in a serious way, I mean, you'd struggle to get through the whole season. But with the comedic aspect, it makes people keep coming back.
Yeah,
you know?
and it also keeps it within the framing device of we're deconstructing romantic comedies and musical comedies, and so when it's in the trope of, oh, this character's, because she kind of goes a little Glenn Close, she tries to be, well, I'm going to be the sexy femme fatale villain,
Right.
and that quickly devolves into what would happen in real life. It's still within the structure of a narrative, which also makes it easy for me to play because I can trust that it's there in the structure and I can just be real in the moment and that it's not gratuitous.
Right. Yeah, it's good. So let's talk about. I know you probably can't give us too much, but season 4,
Sure.
because there is going to be a season 4, and it's going to be the end.
Yeah.
It's going to be the end.
The
What are
whole
you
thing takes
crafting?
place in not only just one day, but 1 hour. And it takes place in the hour that the universe was created, billions of years ago.
Cool. Great.
Yeah, so that's the premise of
Easy.
season
Right,
4.
Done it. It's done. That's what we're getting.
It kind of has nothing to do with anything else
No.
we've been doing.
No.
We all just play atoms, and it's actually just a bunch
You
of...
thought you'd mix it up. You'd
It's a
go out
bunch
with-
of darkness for 12 episodes, and then in the last moment of the 13th episode, the universe is created.
So if you watch it the whole way through, you'll get this magical moment at the very end.
And if you play Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon with it, no, nothing happens. It doesn't sync up.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So that's what we can expect.
Yeah.
What are you crafting, really? Anything?
Well, we always only wanted to do 4 seasons because
Right.
every season has a different aspect of the story of being a crazy ex-girlfriend.
Right.
So season 1 was all about denial. Season 2 was about just love, being obsessed and kind of escaping in love. Season 3 was about the spiral, and then season 4 is about renewal and starting from scratch. And that's the story that we always kind of wanted to tell.
Right. And when you point it out like that, I realise that I'm in fact a crazy ex-girlfriend.
We all are.
Yeah,
Love
yeah.
makes us insane. I mean, that's the thing about the show is these things that all of the characters are going through, but especially Rebecca. Yes, she has borderline personality disorder, but borderline, interestingly enough, is a lot of people say that it's emotions we all have with borderline people, except it's like they have no emotional skin. It's like their whole body is covered in emotional third-degree burns. So everything she's going through is literally an exaggerated version of things that we all go through.
Right.
And they've done brain scans on people when they're in love, and when you're in love, it mimics a lot of things that happen to you when you're both on cocaine and have OCD. And that's everyone.
Wow.
Yeah, it's terrible for you. Love's terrible.
Yeah.
But it's also wonderful, I guess.
It's a juggle. It's a risk.
It's a risk. Well,
It's a risk.
Mother Nature, as my writing partner says, Mother Nature does not care that you're happy. Mother Nature wants you to, in the lizard part of our brains, reproduce. And even if you don't want to reproduce, that's the the lizard
Right,
primate part of love.
Look at all this I'm learning.
I'm
learning
so articulate,
much.
yeah.
I am really
Yeah.
learning so much. It's incredible. Talking about the music, because it's amazing what you guys do, and I can't imagine the workload, like doing this and doing the music and creating the storylines and touching base on everything that you've just mentioned.
It's really hard because I write the songs along
Right.
with Jack Dolgen, who's an EP on the show, and Adam Schlesinger, who's our executive music producer. And writing the songs is a tough needle to thread because you have to find, ideally, a song that not only serves the story, gives us an emotional insight into a character that we didn't know already, but also has a joke that can stand alone from the context of the plot. So finding the premise of the song and the hook of the song, or the title of the song, is the hardest part. And everything else rolls downhill once we have that premise.
Okay. And every song's it's got a good mix. Is that because you guys have your own kind of eclectic choice in music?
We try to not we try to not repeat genres. We
Right.
try to do a different genre. We try to choose a genre that serves the emotion of the piece, or a genre that's going to kind of be juxtaposed with the lyrics in a really funny way. And we try our best not to repeat. So we don't just do folk comedy songs or pop comedy
Right.
songs or musical theater songs. We do everything.
Okay. And you guys push it. You push
As best we can on network television.
Right.
Abiding by FCC guidelines. And when we want to do something dirty, we'll make a dirty version. I'll put it on my YouTube. So check that out for a special
It's going to go
treat.
out there either way.
Yeah.
It's going to go out there either way, which is great. Going back to the beginning, because I was, doing research, kind of fascinated. You were an intern at SNL.
I was.
And then also performing on cruise ships.
Yes.
Around New York, which I didn't even know there were cruise ships.
It's called the Spirit of New York. It takes you around New York City for 3 hours.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that it's also somewhat of a show. And so there's always that look of horror from like 5 people who are like, oh no, they're singing. Oh, I just wanted a nice cruise.
Right.
No.
And I can imagine you went all steam ahead when you go out on that stage.
Yeah, we did a parody of the Black Eyed Peas, I Got a Feeling, where it was like,
It's a great
tonight's
one.
the night, take off your coat and rock
Okay.
the boat. I remember that.
I felt that and you were in your chair, you weren't even moving, and
No.
I wanted to kind of move.
You just felt like you were looking at a mediocre view of the Statue of Liberty just then.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the
Okay.
goal.
It's a go. You succeeded. You succeeded.
Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to pay $15 for a mojito.
I'm trying to hold my face. Talking about that though, I mean, quite the journey. What have you learned on this journey so far? I mean, something that comes to mind. I'm sure you learned a lot.
Well, I went from doing internet videos that I paid for with my own money and produced by myself to making a pilot for Showtime, having that pilot be rejected, going back to making internet videos, and then getting a series out of the blue, and within like 6 months of that winning a Golden Globe. So that was crazy.
Right.
I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where to... I think learning how to be a boss and how to mix that with still being creatively free, learning what I like, what I need to be in charge of, and what I can delegate, learning how to remain myself, while doing this separate job, which is publicity, which is not what you train for in acting school. No one trains you for this. No one trains you to do interviews, but it's actually a really important part of your job.
Right. There you go. Well, no one can train you for that journey.
No.
You can never expect that.
No, it's been nuts.
Right.
In a wonderful way. It's
in
been
the
wonderful.
best possible way of nuts. The best possible nuts.
I have gowns now.
You have gowns. You do.
It's just like, I remember when I was shopping for my wedding dress, because I got married before everything, and I thought, how am I going to reuse my wedding dress, because this is the only gown I will ever own. I can't. I spent all this money on this gown, and now I have multiple gowns.
How wrong you were.
How wrong I was. But the gownage, no one tells you about the gownage.
The gownage, is that gownage?
Mm-hmm. I think Gucci coined that term.
Okay, well you just did. Your new line coming out.
It's me, Gucci.
Gownage by Bloom. I like that. It's got a ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you ever worn a gown?
I haven't. I've thought about wearing dresses a few times, but it's a whole other conversation.
I think you should do. Oh wow!
Really?
I think you should do it.
You think I should?
Here's what I'll say about gowns.
Okay. I would like to wear a gown.
Here's what I've learned.
Okay,
Here's
there
what
you
I've
have it.
learned.
I'd like to wear a gown.
Great.
You could tell.
I think you look beautiful in a gown.
Thank you. I'd like to wear a gown.
Here's a fact I've learned about gowns. Is as a little girl, I always wanted to be a famous actress.
Okay.
And I'll admit it. I like attention. And I would draw myself out award shows with these big foofy gowns. The problem is when you're at an award show or on a red carpet and you have a gown that has a train, everyone's stepping on it.
Right.
So it's actually kind of a pain in the ass to have a big foofy princess gown. At your wedding, people are giving you a wide berth, theoretically, but on a red carpet, no one cares.
Right.
They're just stomping on you to get to Felicity Huffman over there.
Right. And you can't really have people holding it because then you look...
Then you look like a princess.
Right.
Only Lady Gaga could pull that off, and I don't know, the person holding it would have to be covered in salmon or something.
Right. And that would be fishy.
FYC.
What's next?
What's next? God. The moon. God. I want to do movies and Broadway and more TV and sleep.
Okay. Well, you can do all that. You can do all that without.
I can do all that.
You can do all that. You're going to. It's amazing. We're going to wrap this up because we have to. I would talk to you all day. I really would. THR's top 5. 5 quick questions.
Okay.
Movie you watched as a kid that you wish you were in.
Oh, Hook. I mean,
It's a good one.
A Lost to Be a Lost Boy.
Good
Come
one.
on.
Right. TV show
You're
that you would love.
doing it, Peter. Go on.
You are doing it, Peter. TV show you would love to turn into a movie.
You know what? Frasier, but them is adolescents.
Okay. Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. It's a
And
good one.
Frasier and Niles is adolescents. Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Thanks.
You're good. Describe your journey as an actress so far in one word.
Ownership. Pretending that I wrote every line I'm saying, even if I didn't write it.
Okay, own it. Last thing that made you laugh, like really laugh.
Oh, I laughed at something. Oh, God. A really dirty story that my friend told me that we were just laughing about before this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it.
I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be
Right.
appropriate.
I'm guessing I know this, but who knows? First moment that comes to mind when I say career highlight.
Yeah, probably the Golden Globe. That
There
one
you
was
go.
pretty. That was pretty.
It's a pretty
crazy.
strong
Yeah,
one.
that was pretty crazy.
There'll be more.
Yeah.
There'll be more, without a doubt.
Up.
There will. There should be. Rachel Bloom, phenomenal.
Thank you.